All right, so we just had a new patient come in this morning, mid-30s, and the main reason she came in was for eczema. Eczema was the main thing. She also has asthma that came back. She had it as a child, it went away, came back. So what happened was this. So basically, when a patient comes in with this, especially an adult, right? Most people are going to be like, well, why would why would a person go to a chiropractor for eczema? And her mom actually came to a couple of workshops, and then she had me actually come to her bank that she manages and speak at her bank for her team, at her bank. So she's heard, the information a few different times. So she says, okay, my daughter lives, all the way in Queens. It's a while for her to get here, but, I wanted to come in and get checked out. And, she heard some of the stories that, I talked about in the workshops. And I said, you trying to explain it to her, it's going to be hard for her to connect. Now, the girl was really open, which makes it a lot easier, open-minded, that is. She's also been through the ringer. She went to a primary, she went to an allergist, she went to a dermatologist, creams, medications, take this pill, do this. And the bottom line, it's getting worse. So a lot of times, I always say, and I got this from another chiropractor, we should answer the phone like, welcome to the second to last resort. Because by the time people come here, it's like, oh man. And now when she comes, of course, we dig into what's going on with the eczema, how's it affecting your life, what are some other things you feel like this is having an impact on, basically get some goals from her. But the main thing I explained to her was, listen, I'm not an eczema specialist. Obviously, I'm a chiropractor. We've had a lot of cases over the years. Let me give you the physiology. Let me give you some of the neurology. So we give her the caveman explanation, which brain controls body. You want 100% brain to body connection. Cut nerve, done. Put pressure on nerve to organ, no good. That's caveman explanation. I like that explanation. People say, oh, that's not scientific. Yeah, but the public understands that. Like my brother's a plumber, as an example. And, he'll explain things to me. It's like, you know what, man, just does the water filter work? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know, like everything about the pipes he's going to run and the split and the L and the, I'm going to, basically take this and I'm going to, weld this together. And I'm going to listen, sounds great. Okay. That's awesome. Just make sure that my water's clean, as an example, right? But he's passionate about it, and he's a great plumber, which is awesome. This is the same idea, you understand? So I like caveman explanation. However, when I get babies, I get a lot of babies that come in, with the parents, of course. But when we get babies, when we get people coming in with eczema, for example, or any other condition that you might be like, why are they going to a chiropractor? I always give them the same explanation. I say, listen, when your spine is stuck, this is what the research shows. This is neurology. This is physiology. Yes, it's a miracle when symptoms go away, but it's really just correcting the physiology. So when your spine's stuck, it sends negative stress signals, nociceptive, bad information to your brain, whether you feel it or not. That's the hardest thing to get across to people. Whether you feel it or not, when your spine's stuck or subluxated, when it's locked up, it's dinging your brain with stress, spinal thalamic tract, hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis, releases stress hormones, puts you into sympathetic fight or flight. When you are stuck in fight or flight for a long time, regardless of what symptoms someone might have, that's just not good for your health. It shuts down healing, resting, digestion, assimilation. When we adjust the spine, we get those bones, those joints moving, it sends positive, proprioceptive, good information up to the cerebellum. That's like the sleeping giant in your brain, and it taps in and it affects the vagus nerve. We can tap into that vagus nerve neurologically, and it helps get you out of stress. So just to keep this nice and simple, to bring this to full circle to a simple explanation, spine stuck, you're in sympathetic fight or flight. Spine stuck, stress. Get the spine moving, get you out of stress. Now, my question for you to think about, for your health, okay? When you're stuck in stress, what are some symptoms that could happen? It could be anything. I don't really know. Whatever the label is not really what I'm so concerned about. Whether it's eczema, headaches, asthma, anxiety, depression, back pain, neck pain, migraine headaches, whatever, shuts down your immune system, reflux, gastrointestinal system, right? regardless, okay, of what the label is or what the symptom is. If we get you out of stress response naturally, if we do things to get you out of stress response, does it mean that we're going to solve that person's all their life's problems in 2 visits? You'll hear people say things like, oh, a person in my family had, stage 4 cancer, and they drank green vegetable juice for a week and it didn't cure the cancer. That doesn't work. Or they took omega-3 and it didn't work. We took vitamin D. You understand? Like, it's like, how many green juices might that person be behind? It's like, okay, I'm 51. I never exercised in my life, and I exercised for 2 weeks and I'm not shredded ripped. How many exercise sessions do you think that person, or maybe you, are behind? Let's level the playing field. That's what I'm really good at is, and most people know this, but they just don't want to take self-responsibility. They don't realize that, man, I might be behind in some, walking sessions. Maybe I should walk. And it's never too late. That's the cool part. Your body's adaptable. You can heal. But just because we start to work on her and adjust her, do I know when the eczema is going to go away? Do I know, what percentage it's going to go away? My approach is, listen, you got some things going on at your spine that we found. Let's work on it with our approach. Work on the lifestyle stuff. She already gave up gluten, alcohol. She's doing hard things, much harder than coming in here and getting adjusted. You tell someone give up gluten or give up alcohol or cut out sugar, or you know what I mean? That's much harder to do. I told her that's lifestyle. I go, and that's 50% of the equation. You should definitely work on your lifestyle. Most people cycle in and out of lifestyle. Oh man, I was really good with my water. For a couple of weeks now, I'm not drinking my water. I was good taking my vitamins, and I fell off of my vitamins. I was at the gym, and then I forgot to go. You understand, right? So work on your lifestyle, of course. We do a seminar workshop once a month on lifestyle. It's called Stress and Inflammation. Okay, but as we start to work with her, we want the eczema to go down and decrease. You know what I mean? But I told her, listen, I adjusted her and I said, regardless of if your eczema goes away in 2 visits or 52 visits, or it gets better in that many visits, doesn't it make sense that we want to get you out of stress response? Like, what could work in your body better if we get you out of stress response? And she's like, well, I didn't think of it this way, but, yeah, I'm always stressed. I have my own business. To come to think of it, my digestive system bothers me. I'm not sleeping well. I'm like, do you think those things could also possibly get better? Yeah. All right, cool. Now we're on the same page. All right, I hope this message is making sense. When we look at things from a holistic perspective, it's a different philosophy, but to me, it's common sense. You know what? If it's like, man, the eczema is the effect, and you're just going to give me cream to cover it up. I'm not saying there's never a time or a place for cream or medication or steroids or whatever, but she came to me saying, listen, I already tried that stuff. I researched the side effects. I don't want to do that stuff. And that's why most people that come here, they don't want that approach anymore. They've probably already tried it. All right? All right, I'll talk to you soon.